Training Whippets can be a different ball game to training other breeds. I've had Whippets for 13 years or so now, and they are not quite like other dogs I've worked with and I've lived with. Whippets are unique. They like to do things a slightly different way to some dogs. So Whippets are bred to be a bit more independent. They're bred to hunt and chase, which means that their desire to please us is a lot lower than other breeds comparatively. So what are my top 3 tips for training Whippets? Well, number 1 is we need to find what motivates them. And that might vary dog to dog. So for some of your Whippets, it's going to be food. Some of your Whippets are super food motivated, and that's a great way to motivate them. What I often recommend is that we find something that unlocks that chase passion that they will usually have. Whippets want to chase. They're bred to chase. And if we can incorporate that into their training in some capacity, we are often more likely to be successful. So getting that desire to chase and putting it into training can look like using a tuggy toy. So there are loads of great tuggy toys out there from companies like Touch and Go, Tug Enough, all sorts of companies where we can use like long chaser toys to sort of get them motivated. And they can be great for some Whippets, the same way as a squeaky ball to chase can be. Some Whippets just aren't toy motivated though. And for them, what we can sometimes do is use food that moves. So when we're asking them for a behaviour, such as a sit or a recall, rather than just handing them this treat in a really sort of, less exciting way, we can be throwing that treat for them to chase. We could be throwing it behind us, throwing it across a field. We are using food that moves to motivate them and make them even more passionate about that reward. So we want to find what motivates your dog. That could be tug toys, squeaky balls, and treats. Often using movement counts. So if I'm using a toy as a reward, I will often move away with the toy to make it a real chase for them to get to it, rather than just simply offer it for them to grab or for me to throw or something. I want them to chase after me first a little bit so we can channel that chase desire. Now, another thing we really want to do with Whippets is keep those training sessions really short. They are definitely a breed who have a very short attention span, and I like my dogs to have a lot of passion for training, and I want them to really enjoy it. I want them to see it as an opportunity to spend time with me and have fun. I don't want them to see it as a chore. So when I'm doing training, I will keep it short, fun, sweet, and we will quit before they lose interest or get frustrated. With my young dogs, this can often look like really, really short training sessions. With my puppies, they weren't super motivated by food or toys for quite some time. So we would literally just do 2 or 3 repetitions of something and then take a break. As they get older, or for most normal puppies possibly, we can just try and start somewhere around 2 to 5 minutes. If I want something to be fun, I will keep it shorter and make sure they are not losing that interest. Whippets are very much about what is in it for me. They are thinking, is this worth it? Is this worth my while? And we need to make it fun. If it's something that is a prolonged experience where we're just doing drills of sit, 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 they tend to lose interest really, really, really fast. So keep it short, throw a few fun behaviours in there too, and keep it sweet. Don't just wait until they're bored. I don't tend to go over 5 minutes for training with my Whippets if I want them really interested and really passionate about something. So the other thing that I would really recommend you do is you keep your training fun, which I just alluded to a little bit there. Training should be enjoyable. Now, I don't mean you have to jump around, making a lot of noise, dancing, anything like that. I'm not really that kind of person. But you should be enjoying it at least a little bit because they're very good, they're very perceptive dogs, and I think they know when you're not genuinely enjoying it. I think if you treat it as a thing where they have to do something because you said so, that pressure can really cause Whippets a lot of problems. They can be pressure sensitive, and this just means that if they feel you're asking a lot of them or too much, or you're being a bit harsh, what can happen is they can shut down a little bit and just decide training isn't worth it and just walk away. I've had dogs who shut down that was due to pain, which we didn't know at the time, and it's very hard to resolve once they start it. So just keep it fun. If you're not in the mood to train them, don't train them, is my philosophy. You don't want frustration and negative feelings to enter it. So 3 tips for training your Whippet are: keep sessions fun, keep them short, and find what motivates them. It's usually something with chasing. Any questions, just get in touch on the website or email waggingwhippetwonders@gmail.com, and we can probably help you out with something with your lovely Whippet.